something else the government and the churches don't want talked about, because again, I have to often duet my own videos just to get them to be a small amount seen. And so when they really don't want something, then they take the voice away. So they don't want me talking about the whole Adam and serpent thing. That's just a no-no, right? Because it's a male-dominated society. Let me make something very clear here, because I keep coming across men that are saying that that will agree, or women, I don't know, indoctrinated by the church, I guess, that will agree that yes, Adam was likely the serpent, and his rebellion against God was tricking Eve. But then go on to say, but men shouldn't be submitting to women. Look, I've made it very clear, and clearly men aren't getting it, okay? Jesus came to say, all submit to me. I personally do not think, it doesn't run through my mind to want to dominate a male. It doesn't. And maybe there's some women out there that are like that. I mean, I know they show it in the movies. I mean, I think that's just the feminist crazy stuff, trying to push back hard on something because of the insecurity of the men. But that doesn't even run through my mind. There shouldn't be dominance over either. So what the men, the Christian nationalists, fall back on is that God said to Adam, you shouldn't have listened to your wife. Okay, let's reverse that for a moment. God would have said the same thing to Eve. You shouldn't have listened to your husband. He would have. He would have, because at no time did God say that Adam was authority over Eve. Never. Never. So even if you reverse it, God would have said, Eve, you shouldn't have listened to your husband. He would have said it. As God is my witness, that's what he would have said if you reverse the roles. Because the point that God was making to Adam is, you submit to me, you listen to me. For Eve and Adam, it wasn't saying your wife is below you and you shouldn't listen to her. That's how stupid this male domination thing is. That's how stupid it is. With the Christian nationalist, male insecure men that really don't even have masculinity, in my opinion, at all. They don't even. They have this ugly, fake masculinity, okay? Seriously, did Charlie Kirk look like, did he, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. He didn't have it. He didn't have just the natural quality of a masculine man. It was fake, phony, and when it's fake and phony and ugly like that, okay, it goes on to say we dominate. And that's the problem here. It's like nobody should be dominating anybody. But you insecure men want this world because you want to keep the curse going, and you yourselves and your Christians won't submit to God. And that's the point. That's what God was saying to Adam, is you should be listening to me, just like Eve should be listening to me. I am the authority. God is the authority. That's the only authority. You Christian nationalists are not the authority over women. Nor are women the authority over men. I mean, I'm not really sure. It makes me angry because it's so stupid. It's so stupid. It doesn't, like when I talk about this stuff, it doesn't even run through my mind that, no, women want to be dominating men. No, I get that there's some women that are like that. Why is that? A byproduct of this ugly masculinity stuff. To me, it's like nobody should be no gender should be dominating another. There's one authority, and it's God. So then when you see Christian nationalists running with this bullshit, and they base it on the fact that, well, God said to Adam, you shouldn't have listened to your wife. Yes, and if the roles had been reversed, God would have said to Eve, you shouldn't have listened to your husband, because God was saying, I am the authority. I am the authority over both of you. And you men, you Christian nationalists, you keep that curse going. And I think many of you know you do, because as long as you can convince Christians in the church that women should be submitting to men, then they're not submitting to God. Oh, you make all these excuses. No, they still submit, but in certain areas. No, there should be no areas where you have some authority over women, nor women have some authority over men. You are just obsessed with your kingdom. You're not interested in God's kingdom, and you're not interested at looking inside yourself and getting to the root of that problem. So you're obsessed with saying, well, even if Adam tricked Eve and he was the serpent, it was his behavior coming out. It still doesn't, women should still be submitting to men. No, man should not submit to woman. Woman should not submit to man. Both, Jesus showed, both should submit to God. So don't call yourself a Christian if you want to stay in the mindset that a woman is to submit to a man or a man is to submit to a woman. Don't even call yourself a Christian, because you're not even in the realm of where God is.